Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and the return of Russell T Davies will either signal a resurgence of the famous Doctor Who TV show or its final end. I definitely lean towards the final end of it because the interest is just not there. Even amongst fans who have been involved in this franchise for decades, their interest has been killed so soundly that even the return of Russell T Davies and David Tennant isn't enough to get them reinvested into this series. I hope it is. I hope that the first thing that Russell does at the beginning of this 3-part 60th anniversary special is to decanonize the Timeless Children and, in a perfect world, Jodie Whittaker's entire run as well. But that's not going to happen. I don't believe that's going to happen in current modern day identity politics driven Hollywood and the BBC, especially with the influence that both the BBC and Disney now have over the production of this series. But apparently, someone has hope in this series after the Disney Plus deal got so much money into the production budget that there's reportedly going to be a bunch of spin offs for the main Doctor Who series. And this isn't a new thing. Back when Russell T Davies was again in his initial era, he had 2 spin-offs, Torchwood and Sarah Jane Adventures. I enjoyed both of them. Torchwood I definitely enjoyed more than Sarah Jane Adventures, but it's not a new phenomenon and something that a lot of people thought might accompany Russell's return. But the odd thing about these spin-offs is the subject matter of these spin-offs. And we got this article here from the Daily Mail, which at this point, it is still very much a rumor from insiders, so take this with a grain of salt. But based on Russell's previous history and the massive money that Disney has invested in this series going forward, I don't see this as being that unlikely. But apparently there will be Cybermen and Dalek spin-offs, as well as possibly Centaurans and Weeping Angels and Sea Devils. That's just really weird. Like, I love many of these villains. I love every single one of these villains from classic and early New Who, but why do they deserve spin-offs? I don't get why villains deserve spin-offs. As much as I love the Cybermen, as much as I love the Daleks, there's not really a whole lot of story to be told with them. They're best when they're playing off of the Doctor. We already know the Daleks' history to a deep enough degree that there's no point in doing like a prequel series about Davros. The Cybermen, kind of the same deal every time. Love it, but it is kind of repetitive. And the Centaurans, maybe. That's the only one that I might see as maybe, even though they're design might not be as inducive to getting new fans into the series as some of the other villains might. And the Weeping Angels, they don't even talk, so there'd be no dialogue in a Weeping Angels spin-off. This just sounds really weird to me. I believe it's totally possible. It's totally within the realm of possibility that this could be the case. But villain spin-offs don't make quite as much sense as character spin-offs. Like, in a perfect world, I'd love to see the adventures of River Song, or a Romana TV show, or a Susan TV show. There's a whole lot of great characters to bring back Captain Jack and renew Torchwood. Love to see that. There's a lot of great opportunities. Hell, I'd even like a Mickey Smith and Martha spinoff. We saw them as pretty well badasses at the end of the David Tennant era. I'd love to see them kicking ass in their spinoff series. There's a lot of potential when it comes to spinoff characters, but villains aren't really the deep well of creativity that I'd imagine be rife for spinoff. Who knows if this is actually true? This is from reputable sources, and it all because Disney wants more content. If they're investing this much money, they want more than just one show out of it. And that makes sense to me. I can see the reasoning behind it. It's just the subject matter of the show that has me questioning this to a small degree. So who knows if this will be the case, and I need to see how the 60th anniversary plays out before I make any decisions on whether or not I'm personally invested in the future of the series, let alone in any potential spin-offs as well. But I wanted to end this video with another article by CBR just to laugh at real fast, because I did praise CBR yesterday, but this is pretty well hilarious shilling from them that I just had to shout out real fast, and that's Jodie Whittaker is perfect for an MCU villain. She'd have to crack a facial expression that isn't retarded. She'd have to have some intimidation, and that was the biggest problem with her role, in my opinion, is the doctor moments, the 1,000-yard stare. She never had that intimidation factor, that timeless factor, and that's a big thing with a lot of villains as well, that intimidation factor. She does not possess it. She's never possessed it in any of other roles that I'm familiar with. She's not going to be a good villain. I just want to laugh at this. But they want her to play Enchantress in Thor 5. She'd have to be okay with being sexualized. Oh, no. It's a modern MCU, so there's no sexualizing women in that. Excuse me. Or Emma Frost. Oh God, don't butcher Emma Frost with Jodie's horrible accent that she's not willing to change. And yeah, Emma Frost needs to be incredibly attractive. She is a femme fatale, and Jodie is a little frumpy. There's nothing wrong with that, and it was whatever for the Doctor. But for Emma Frost, you need to be like supermodel type body for that. It's okay, just the requirements of that role. So yeah, great job there. Or a potential major Armor Wars villain. I don't know who that's gonna be, like some businesswoman. Definitely don't see her in a role like this. And finally, Red Skull's daughter. This is just funny to me. I'm just laughing at the stupidity of this. But it's kind of interesting to speculate on the future of her career after Doctor Who, because not a whole lot of people liked her in the role, and she hasn't been getting a whole lot of other projects outside of Doctor Who. Maybe she'll be able to coop out a actual career like David Tennant and Matt Smith eventually were able to do. Who knows? And even Peter Capaldi, a lot of them went on to very good, successful roles after the events of Doctor Who. I don't see that being the case for her, but we'll see. She's definitely not getting a mainline MCU, especially Thor 5, but we'll have to see. And yeah, just a villain conversation going on here. Will Jodie Whittaker be a good villain? Will these villains get good spin-off TV shows? We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Anon.
Hey, yo, are you feeling what I'm doing up in here? Oh, I know you are. Do you miss all the good, compelling stories that we used to get back in Hollywood that they ain't putting down no more? I know you missing it. So check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern day mental illness issues, baby. Book 1, Down in Flames. Book 2, Apocalypse Then. These are currently on sale. What are you waiting for? Get your hands on them. And we got Book 3, Kill the Dark, is coming down the pipeline. Just wait for all the good stuff that's dropping. You ain't gonna be disappointed, fam.